Do you know you have divine protection when you are obedient to whatever God tells you to go do? Like, whatever your purpose, whatever it is, if it's starting a business, if it's traveling, you know what it is. You know what you're getting called to do. And if you're afraid of the backlash of whatever that is, I just want you to know that as long as you're doing what God told you to do, He has to take care of you. I told you all on my last video that I struggle with like a bunch of irrational fears. Like, I would talk myself out of stuff, and fear of flying, fear of travel alone, I had all kind of goofy fears. And that's what we determined, is that they were all just goofy fears, right? They really didn't have origin. It was just all from my anxiety, my imaginations running away with themselves. And I remember I was like just doing, like, I don't know if I was doing Bible study, but I remember reading this part in the Bible. I'll drop the word. I think it was like 1 Corinthians 14, 17, something like that. But it was like when King David was being sent out, when he was becoming a warrior, but it's like kind of like his campaign into becoming king. I remember reading this verse. It said, and David's fame grew wherever he went, and God made the Lord made every nation fear him. Like, so he had some divine protection to where everywhere he went, people were scared of him. He didn't even have to do nothing. It was just that his name had went out. Y'all know how it is. If somebody y'all know could fight real good, and you hear about them, you know, maybe they go to somebody else's school, but then they come to your school. Oh, I heard about him. Right? He was notorious. But it said his fame went out everywhere he went. And so he didn't even have to go fight before he got there, you know, or have to prove himself when he got there, because people were already afraid of him. Right? And that's a form of protection, because ain't nobody gonna mess with you. So that means if you're being called to a leadership position, maybe in your company, but you know what has to happen once you get up there, you know how people treat each other, you know, you got to scratch some backs and all that stuff. You don't have to worry about that. If you're being called to do something, you're called there to be a change agent. You're probably, especially right now, the time we're in, like, righteous leadership is starting to rise up. And that don't mean perfection. That don't mean the best Christian. That don't mean the best churchgoer. That means God looking for people with pure hearts. His people that he believes in, that he knows have gone through the ringer because he put you through it, right? The chosen ones. Yep, we're being called into leadership. We're being called to put ourselves out there. We're being called to take place of bosses and, you know, all these different things, and judges, mayors. I see a lot of young people running for office and stuff, and that's dope. Like, you can't sit there and keep complaining about what's wrong with the world when we are the generation. Matter of fact, I'm like the adult of the generation. Like, y'all late 20s and 30s, it's time for y'all to rise up. Like, you change the world by going in and being a change agent, not by complaining. I know a lot of people think, oh, I'm gonna get on TikTok and just complain about everything. That's not changing nothing. Yes, somebody has to be the one to herald and get the word out, but you also need to do something. And people in our 40s, we need to be out here leading the younger ones as well. No, leadership doesn't mean perfection, but you have to have pure intentions. And so I just thought about that, and I want to, because I didn't finished the series on how I got over my fears, and that was another one of the ways that I got over my fear. I kind of said, hey, you know what, I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to start doing what God told me to do, and if something happened to me, if something happened to my house, if something happened to my money, blah 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 blah, that's on you, God, because I'm doing what you told me to do. So I don't know who needed to hear that. I'll put the verse down in the comments, but you have divine protection. You don't have to go with the status quo. You don't have to do what other people are doing. You don't have to, go against your values. You don't have to go against who you are as a person and your core values and your morals and what you believe in. You don't have to. Not in order to be successful. You don't have to do that. You don't. But you will have to be strong enough to stand up against the system. You will have to be bigger than the program at some point. You will. To change it, you do. So, just know though, if you are one of the brave souls who decides to do it, right? Remember, many are called, few are chosen, and it's only because the chosen don't step up and accept the mission. So if you choose your mission to accept the mission, you will have divine protection. I'm going to go finish my smoothie now. I'm out. See you later. Hope that helped.